and I just move on to the next challenge. Now it's Nigeria, so obviously I'd had to have taken a corporate job. As I used to work in a radio station, I worked in advertising, and I think I started working in advertising in my sophomore year in university, and just being surrounded with that much creative energy and the right attitudes towards that energy, it made a huge difference in my life. Huge difference. So everywhere else that I went to, if it was clear to me that they didn't recognize the value that I was bringing, I'd leave. Yeah. It was tough for the first two jobs, actually, to do that. As soon as when I graduated, I got a job at a radio station as a radio producer, and that was an interesting time. Actually, it was an interesting time, but it wasn't the kind of interesting that would last. I needed to. It just gave me an idea as to, okay, I need to find my next thing. Then from there, I went into banking. I worked in a bank, and the time there, the people that I was exposed to, the thinkings, the customers, the clients, the situations. I was like, I even witnessed a robbery. Yeah, sorry. I don't think that's meant to be funny to neurotypical people, but for me, the things that I observed in terms of human nature, because I'm always taking in human dynamics, social dynamics. So the things that I noticed, the things that I saw, the stories that I heard afterwards, the perspectives, everything, Anyway, I took all I needed from there, and then I left. And it was from there that I became more bold in terms of my steps as in the creative field. So I put my foot forward, started getting it done. Put my foot forward, started getting it done. Put my foot forward, started getting it done. Was editor-in-chief of 2 magazines. Then when people would come to me with creative experiments, I fix it, and yeah, it's been a wonderful time. But I think for me, the crown jewel of my career has been voice acting and voice directing, and raising excellent voice actors in Nigeria. Yeah, I think that for me is my current achievement to up to date. So it was last year that there was an animation project that I came on as voice director and also voice actor called Ajaka Lost in Rome. So I came on as a voice actor and voice director for the Ajaka animated short film, and I think that project, if for lack of a better word, kind of justified a lot of the. It began the major justification of the investment I've made in other people's lives when it comes to voice acting over the last 7 years. As the first 3 months that it was released, I think it was released in September. I could be wrong. I stand to be corrected. It won 5 awards. 5. The one that's closest to me was winning the SOVAS Award for best voice work for an animation in Africa. That felt good. That felt good because when I'm voice act, this year will be my 7th anniversary, and ironically, well, funny enough, it was the year after I was married that that the diagnosis was put together about me having Asperger's. Yeah, and it was a bit of a shock to my wife. For me, I could breathe easily. You know, I could say, okay, 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 okay. I'm not sick. I'm not a psychopath. I'm not dangerous to myself or to others. You know, and that felt good. If it still feels good. You know, and I've added that to the things that I do, which is to make a point about the place, about the neurodiverse having their place in society. As in, it's our society. It's been shaped for the neurotypical, and that's okay. That's all right. But we are the ones who contribute to it. I believe firmly that every major leap in civilization has come from the neurodiverse. Because the neurotypical people, in my opinion, based on what I've seen, I stand to be corrected, you know, they are okay with the status quo. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with the status quo. It's the neurodiverse who see, as in we look at the same thing, but we don't see the same things. The neurodiverse see and like, yeah, we should do something with that. We should remove this. We should put that in. We should let that go. We should, you know, and there's a reshaping that goes on. And nobody really notices. You say, oh, this person's a genius. Oh yeah, this person's very smart. Oh yeah, this person's very. But the thing is that we saw the normal and decided to make it the old normal and bring the new normal in. Not something that will shake up lives, but something that will make life easier. It's out like for me personally, I feel a strong. I won't call it a burden, but it's a drive to contribute to society. You know, even though I'm in Nigeria, even though I live it, but you know, just need to contribute to society. It's not to earn my place. No, my place is my place. My place is my place. But what I recognize is that we can tell stories better. So that is that is my drive. You know, to find ways to tell stories better. And I've seen so much evidence that the success or failure of every society boils down to the stories that they tell themselves, the stories that they share. Because stories carry meaning, stories carry history, stories shape identity. So that's one of the things that I would love to do. I desire to do. To just tell better stories so that people can have a better impression of themselves, have better stories that they tell themselves about themselves, have better stories to share, so they can so the things that we find in common, we have more things that we find in common. So I want to thank you for the time that you spent listening to me, share my story and some of the things that have shaped who I am. I want to part with this very important message, especially if you're young and you are on the spectrum, and the world's trying to force it's trying to force feed you what makes sense to it, but it doesn't make sense to you. There's many worries. There are many things that the world will try to teach you. They'll teach you many worries. They would try to teach you fears. They'll try to teach you how to, you know, minimize yourself. They will. It's a whole lot of things. The interesting thing for me is that as I've been, like I said, I'd been studying social dynamics and things like that. I found out that they do that to themselves as well. So it's a neurotypical thing. It's not neurotypical to neurodivergent thing. Yeah. So you are special because it's you. You are not special because someone decided to pick on you. That person most likely picks on themselves in private. You know, so just let their hang-ups be their hang-ups. Don't borrow from them. The way that you see the world, your perspective of the world, the way you perceive it, your perception, it is powerful. And you don't need someone outside to validate it. Whatever it is you pick up, whatever it is you're starting to understand, whatever it is you're piecing together, whatever meaning you are drawing from the world around you, I would say find comfort in knowing that you're not alone. That is something that I had to do. It's something that I'm still doing, actually. And it's because I've embraced my identity. I'm not rejecting it. I'm not fighting it. I'm not. I believe that we are where we are doing what we do because that's how that's our building block. That's our foundation. It's what we do from there that's important, not another person's opinion. If you think that, you know, well, yeah, you know, look, I've had if I could trade every opinion I have received about me, about how I think, about how I live, about what I hold important, about what I see as unimportant, about what's relevant to me, about things that. So the things that are important to me are important to me. You can't force what you think is important on me. As in, like, what's important to you is important to you, but what's important to me is important to me for a reason. And it can get frustrating. So I've learned that when I have conversations with people like that who are insisting, I just remove myself from the conversation. It's not my job to change their minds. It's not your job to change their minds. It's your job to live. It's your job to live and to live true to who you are, where you are, and what you can do. I have a long list of things that I did first in Nigeria. And what made that possible was that I stopped waiting for the people who I thought should know better to do that thing, to start that thing. I just started. I just did it. I realized that nobody in the world is going to come to me and live my life for me. And this is the same thing for you. You can get all the encouragement in the world, you can get all the comfort in the world, you can get all the but you have to live the best you. Every meltdown is, for me, every meltdown is a prelude to reflection. You know, it means something was not right and I was not fixing it, or I was not paying attention to it. So it's as in everything that happens to us, because we are wired differently, it means that we are the ones who have to give interpretation to it. We cannot wait for someone outside to take their time to interpret it for us. And you should always interpret for positive things. It's too easy to be negative. It's too easy. But we are awesome people. As we're saying, we're awesome people. We're amazing. We feel there's a level of intensity that we feel that would frighten the most passionate neurotypical person. But that's us. That's how we're wired. That's how we're wired. And it's nothing to be afraid of. They can be afraid of it. It's fine, you know, but not us. It's yours. It's yours. And I love it. Forgive yourself as many times as you need to forgive yourself every time something happens that makes you feel less than. Forgive yourself for allowing yourself to feel less than. Don't forgive yourself for being less than. You are not less than. You're not less than. You're different. So your problems are different. So your challenges are different. So your path to better is different. So your type of good, your type of great is different. That's okay. That's okay. That's how it's meant to be. That's why we are fantastic. Yeah. As in, like, yeah. We are an amazing puzzle in the universe. And I have so much respect for everyone who recognizes who they are, and no matter the age, once you recognize who you are and what you want and how you and you are good and kind to yourself and others as you are on your way to getting what you want. Yeah. You have my support. And yeah. You have the best of me is just happy knowing that you're out there doing that.